Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Three Crones and the Woo Woo. I am your crone of words, your word crone, uh, Gayle Nicholson,
Word wizard.
word wizard, whatever.
You're the word wizard of the Crones.
Yeah, I need my little pointy hat. My name is Gayle Nicholson with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. To the side here, we have the Crystal Crone, Krista. Of course, her name works. With Dimensional Healing with Krista on Facebook. And of course, rounding out at the bottom here is Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. And she is our star crone. So, hi everybody. I hope you're all feeling well. Three of us are not, but we're here anyway, and we're all hopped up on cough syrup. So today's gonna be a great day. Oh,
That's
anyways,
you are. You guys are not feeling well, and yet you're still here, both of you.
See,
See, it's all, I feel like just since talking to you two, I'm feeling much better. So,
isn't it amazing what fun and laughter and love can do?
Oh my God!
Even when you're feeling ill, or you've been dragged through a gravelly mud puddle. Just to and you can't talk either. To take a few minutes and just, what, this is going to be here when I come back in an hour. So it can set aside, So how are things going with you? Let's start out with Damaris, since she's the only one that so far escaped the little.
I've been doing house cleaning this whole week and cleaning, dusting. You'd be surprised how much dust you find, even though the windows are shut. Just getting ready for like Christmas and the holidays, because I love the Christmas holiday and the decorations and all of that stuff. So I'm just cleaning up.
You're going to have to post pictures of your house when it's decorated, because your house is gorgeous to begin with. I can't wait to see what you do with
I will. I'll post them. Yeah, but that's what I've been doing, because it's been a little quiet. And so I've been like, let me clean up, let me dust, let me, put things away to make room for the decorations and stuff.
Yeah.
Nice. And how about you, Krista? What have you been doing besides like cuddling up in a one size fits all sumo wrestler kit?
Yep. I'm wearing my new sumo wrestler sweater, as Kevin calls it, because me and all of my friends could wear it.
See, I like it. You need snuggle buddies.
Yes,
you do. And that's, and it is. It's a wonderful sweater. And it's a great sweater. I got it mainly because I was telling the ladies earlier, it is made from 25% recycled plastic.
I love that.
Like plastic bottles, I think is what the tag said. So I love it. I think it's great. And, for me, especially not feeling 100%, I put it on earlier and I was like, oh, this is exactly what I needed. So I may look like that,
from the view that we have of you, it looks gorgeous. You look like it's a Letterman sweater in, college or something like that. And it looks very soft and squishy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. It's amazing. But other than, I love what Damaris was saying about getting ready for the holidays, because in my head, I'm like, I'm already planning, even though my house is all decorated right now for fall, because we decorate for fall.
Yeah.
And then I roll into, I do fall, Halloween, fall again, back into Christmas. But this year I need to, I want to get my house decorated early, because we're going to do a open house for a fundraising event here.
Oh, nice.
And for Christmas, so that our International Spouse Club, we can go into not every home, but some homes. And we're going to do fundraising. And then in each home that is open, we share part of our Christmas culture and our Christmas heritage.
That's nice.
And I'm really excited, because of course I have 5 trees to get up, so I have to get my act.
5? I only have 2.
Yeah.
See, I'm not celebrating Christmas this year.
No.
Well,
hell no. I'm in for Saturnalia. I want the drunken debauchery, please.
Well,
Thank you.
I didn't say. I never said that I wasn't in for drunken debauchery. I just decorate my house with
there you go.
trees.
I love Christmas decorations. I love it.
So do I. I mean, I've always, and I love the lights, and I love the trees, and I love the Yule fires.
Yeah.
And my hope is this year we can do a big Yule fire in our courtyard.
Nice.
So pretty.
Yeah.
You
gotta some pictures if you do.
Oh, I'll send video. I'll send pictures. I'll share it live.
Yes.
Awesome stuff.
What about you, Gayle?
Well, like Krista, I've been kind of dealing with a sinus thing, and I'm being a metaphysicist. I tend not to call myself a metaphysician because I'm not a doctor, but at any rate, being someone who's very interested in the metaphysical source of whatever, for me, sinuses is all about an irritation that's right in front of my face. No kidding. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, since I, have had this really strong practice of ignoring my guides for the last couple of weeks, it's growing, and I may actually have to go to the clinic, but we've been doing all of the things that could be done, should be done to heal with food. I made some medicine soup the other day, and which is, the good chicken noodle soup with the, the root vegetables and the broth.
Yes.
Oh, it did not last long at all. No. I mean, by the second day, it was this stew mush that we just slurped down in heaven. So there's another thing for my gratitude list: medicine soup.
Yes. Love medicine soup.
Getting to that gratitude list.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes. So Krista,
that was
tell
a great
us.
post.
It was. Will you tell everybody a little bit more about what we're going to be focusing on as far as, because November is Gratitude Month in America, right?
Yes.
In Canada, Thanksgiving's in October.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they focus on at what time of the year where you're at, but
so ultimately, this whole Thanksgiving is pretty much for the Americas. I mean, I've lived now in many parts of the globe, and ultimately it is really customarily a North American tradition. But what we're going to be focusing on mainly, you inspired me. Usually I start this at the very beginning in November because I really embrace the whole gratitude. It's not just about Thanksgiving. It's about reprogramming ourselves to be grateful all the time. And it doesn't mean that you don't fall off the wagon. And it doesn't mean that you don't have those suckies, because I'll tell you what, I've had some suckies recently. I've had some really big suckies. And which is one of the reasons why I'm sick. But when you increase that vibration of gratitude, and when you focus on what you're grateful for, here's the really big kicker. You guys want to stay healthy all winter? You guys want to stay healthy? Practice gratitude every day.
Yeah.
And you practice it very simply by writing down 10 things that you're thankful for. And here's the part that I always tell people: add the why you're thankful. Because if you add the why you're thankful, we'll use Gayle's thing. Here we go. of the medicine soup. I know that I made medicine soup the other day, and it's the same reason, Gayle did, because we're both not feeling great. And at the time, Kevin really was sick. But medicine soup, it nourishes us. It warms you. It fills the belly. It warms the soul. It soothes the throat. So there are many reasons why you love medicine soup, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And when you add that, that's where you amplify the power of gratitude.
Yeah.
I always tell people it's the attitude of gratitude is probably, it's just as powerful, if not more powerful, than the vibration of love. And the vibration of love is pretty
high.
Pretty high up there.
Top of the pyramid.
Yeah, it really is. But the attitude of gratitude, because when you come at things with that, it is really amazing. And so you're going to see things here with us. And I may talk to the Crones and see if we have it in us, the energy, where we actually run more than just a reminder every day, or giving an insider, but to actually maybe collaborate, the three of us, with our additional tribe, right? Not just our coven of Crones here, but to really practice this attitude of gratitude, and to see how it grows, and to see how it ripples, and to see where it goes, and not just doing it in November and not doing it in December, but to see if we can create this I don't want to say it, like a rolling effect, where because snowballing is
acceleration.
I would like it to be like a snowball that accelerates, except, think of it more as shiny sparkles rather than it's going to get big and go poof.
No, definitely. I think that's so needed, Actually, you inspired me with that post, what I'm going to talk about today. So
awesome.
Thank you for that.
You are welcome. I just really, sitting and when you're sick, it's so easy to sit there and go, oh, I feel so bad for myself.
Yeah. As you were talking about that I was thinking about love and gratitude, and love being one of the highest vibrations, right? Top of the pyramid, right?
It is.
But gratitude, when you think about it, is love that exponentializes. Love is love that heals, but gratitude is love that exponentializes and makes things grow.
And it grows. It really grows, because you don't have to know somebody to express gratitude. You don't. How many times? Here's an easy one. Okay. How many times have you gone to the grocery store? And many of you probably shop at the same grocery store. Many of you might even know the person that checks you out, at least visually, and they visually recognize you, because you go there all the time.
Yeah.
But how many times do you actually look them in the eye and say, thank you so much. I really appreciate, what you're doing here for me.
I've done that. Not all the time, but I've
done it. I could do it more as well. I do like to call them by name if they're wearing a name tag.
Me too.
Yeah. And you know what it does for that person? It does two things. One, it stops them and makes them smile. It's like it gives them a pause to breathe. And two, it just, when you do that, it like elevates their entire energy for the day.
It does.
Especially when they feel like everyone is just kind of like being the negative Nellies of the world.
Oh yeah. And there's so much of that. And our frontline workers, I'm not talking about first responders and hospital workers, which we're very grateful for what they do, but the frontline workers in retail and grocery and restaurants and stuff like that are getting, an earful of a whole bunch of negativity on the daily, multiple times a day. So, what Krista said, do that more often for them, because they need it so they don't get sick.
We also don't acknowledge the truck drivers too that deliver the food to the supermarkets. They need acknowledgement and gratitude.
They really do, because it is. Being somebody who's driven across country, I would never want to do that job. Okay?
Yeah. I mean, without them, the supermarkets wouldn't have the supplies,
Yeah, no. And and I appreciate it whenever we would drive, because we've driven back and forth across country a couple of times now. And whenever we drive, we give full berth, to the truck drivers.
Yeah.
And definitely accolades and
if you've got kids in the car, let them do that thing, because truckers live for that. I mean, they probably have kids at home that they miss. So, 10 seconds to interact with your kid and bring a smile to a child's face probably has them floating for hours afterwards. So,
definitely. When we were driving across country the last time, which was like in the beginning of COVID, and it was like, it was apocalyptic.
Yes.
It was like barren. The roads were, there was nobody. For hours and hours we would drive, and it was just the two of us, because Kevin was in the truck in front of us. But when we would see a truck driver, we would wave. If we pulled over for gas and we'd see the truck drivers, we tried to interact with them, because it can be really lonely. And if you feel like you're the only person out there for hours. That's a really creepy kind of feeling.
Definitely. If they keep the country going, moving, with all their deliveries.
Speaking of gratitude, I want to take a second and say thank you to everybody who is watching right now.
Yes.
Ada Diaz-Pellat, Facebook user who still hasn't given me her name or his name. And Michelle Lamb, who lives in Hawaii and got up early to watch us. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Up early.
Thank you.
Michelle. Wow.
We love you guys so much. Yes, and if you're watching live, please put in live, because we are going to make sure that this goes out there as well on the replay for anybody who wasn't quite up to speed, that we've changed the time of the show. From here on out, it will be at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, which is 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock Amsterdam time. 6 o'clock.
Thank you.
Krista's been staying up till all hours of the night to do the show since it began. And then also in California, Pacific time, it's at 9 a.m. So you can catch us at breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
There you go. No joke.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on the replay, please let us know that your hashtag replay. And, also let us know if, you'll be able to see us at 12 o'clock, or we can make sure to tag you for the replay whenever you can get to it. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. We love you guys, and we really appreciate you being here. All right, my loves, let us begin with, let's see, who would we do first? We do Damaris first, don't we?
That's right.
Ah!
Well, hello everybody. And so today, because of Krista's post that she put on the 3 Crones and the woo-woo, I decided that I was going to talk about Venus. Venus went into Capricorn on the 5th. So it will stay there till March 6th. So it's going to be like 4 months or so. So what does that mean exactly? Well, let's talk about Venus in Taurus. Venus in Taurus is more like a little kid. I want. It's really focused on possessions and money. It's focused, when it's in Taurus, it's focused on tangible things. When it's in Libra, because Venus rules Libra as well, when it's in Libra, it's more on the soul level. It works more with the heart. It works on a desire at that point with finding a mate, a relationship, and then being in harmony with that in that relationship. So again, in Taurus, it works more with the ego, so to speak, because it's at the bottom, a lower level of the chart, if you will. In Libra, it works more on the soul level. So what we want to do is work with Mercury, and Mercury is actually, I believe, in Scorpio until the 24th. But we want to work with with Mercury, because with Mercury, it helps you. Mercury is the planet of intellect, and it's the planet of intellectual ability, right? So when we work with Mercury, it helps us go into this higher state of consciousness where we learn wisdom, knowledge, and wisdom. So when we work with Venus, we want to work with knowledge and wisdom so that we can, love from a higher perspective, not just think about us, so to speak, and where we're, we want to benefit another. We want to be in a relationship and benefit another, not just ourselves. When Venus is in Capricorn, it's a little tricky because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Now, Saturn is a disciplinarian. It's like a father that disciplines the child. So Saturn wants Venus, especially in Taurus, to be, to prioritize things. We were talking about Christmas and Thanksgiving. We want to help to help Venus in Taurus to really be disciplined and to really think about, okay, should I be spending my money on this, or should, you know what I mean? So it wants you to be more like an adult with spending, where Venus in Taurus is not. It's like a child that wants. So being that it's in Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, it's going to be very, very disciplined, and Saturn is going to be very sort of restrictive. No, you can't buy that because you might need it later. So it's like a father, like I said. So for Christmas, those wherever we have Venus in our chart, wherever we have Capricorn in our chart, that area of our lives is going to be restricted. So if you're giving, say that my Capricorn, for example, happens to be in the 10th house, actually. And so that's with work. So that means that I'm going to, not that I'm not going to be giving, but I'm going to be sort of like discipline in that area. So everybody has Capricorn and everybody has Venus. So wherever you have Capricorn, that's where your Venus is, and that's where you'll be restricted. It's more like a learning curve. It's more like becoming mature and really being responsible and really being sort of like, have limits within yourself. So that's that. I also wanted to talk about the number 7, because today is a number 7. So number 7 really is soul searching. I've said it before. It's about finding yourself, finding your purpose, your spiritual purpose, because every purpose is really spiritually based, even though some may not realize it. But there's different ways we can get to the number 7. 1 plus 6. I've said that before, which is the Sun and Venus, which is a really good combination because the Sun is the life giver, Venus is love. We talked about love and elevating that love to a higher vibration. So the 2 and the 5, the 2 happens to be the moon, our emotional state. Mercury also, the 3 and the 4, which it happens to be Jupiter and Pluto. So all of these planets playing a role in how you get to that number 7. Also the 7 and the 9. 7 is Neptune and the 9 is Mars, and also the 8 and the 8, which is Saturn and Saturn, because it equals 16. 7 and 9 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. 8 and 8 is 16. It's also 7 when 1 and 6 is 7. I don't know if I like the Saturn and Saturn, which is the 8 and the 8. It's a lot of discipline. It's a lot of structure. So if we can be very disciplined and structured to get there, I don't know how disciplined we all can be. Life throws curveballs at us. But you guys decide which vibration you like to get to that 7, which is the soul searching, which is finding your purpose, finding the Christ within, and then spreading that love to everybody that you come into contact with. And once we're vibrating at that love vibration, things just come to us by magic, because now we're in a high vibration. We're attracting everything we desire, not so much everything we want. Remember when I said about the Taurus just wants, and it wants to accumulate things. It wants to have a lot of possessions. It just wants things that it may not need. So that's what I have to say. I don't know if you ladies have anything to add to that.
I like the idea of the 1 and the 6, especially in all of this right now. Being, a sun sign Libra, Venus is very important to me. Beauty, love, that kind of thing. So I like being able to bring that in as much as possible. The source of life, the source of love, and beauty.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, I love that when you brought that up this week. So last week I was very, wishy-washy. I couldn't decide, Right? I could have died. This week, you mentioning the 1 and the 6 kind of resonated with me. And then I pulled my chart out.
Okay. Where do you have a Capricorn?
Because I was like, I need to understand this more. So I have Capricorn in my 5th house.
Oh, so the 5th house has to do with children. The 5th house is all about children.
Of course it is.
For the next 4 months, you have to sort of decide, okay, you love your children, but you have to also have limits, because then we can become enablers, right? And so you have to find the middle ground, how much you're giving, because Saturn, what it's going to do is going to restrict you. And Saturn is going to say, okay, no, if you do this, I always say, Krista, when we try and take away our children's lessons because we don't want to see them get hurt, they have to learn that lesson later on.
Yep.
And later on, it'll be harder.
That's it. No, the lessons. So that's a good point that you bring up the lessons, right?
Yeah. Saturn is all about the lessons.
Yeah, we all have lessons, and you can find out what a lot of your lessons are in your numerology chart.
Yes.
And when you know what your lessons are and you start recognizing your lessons, they start to come up less as a wrecking ball, and they start more, it becomes more like, knock upside the head as a reminder, oops, a tap on the shoulder, or, as you start to recognize them, the lesson becomes less in your face. If you are allowed to have those lessons, if you're somebody who goes in and tries to steal the wind out of someone's sail, so to speak, which means, take that lesson away from that person, those lessons. So it starts maybe as a gentle nudge.
Yes.
But what's really sucky is that it turns into a wrecking ball when are unable.
That is Saturn. You're going to learn it the easy way, or you're going to learn it the hard way, but you're going to learn it.
Yeah. And so for all parents out there, I am a mom of 3 children, who are adulting or learning to adult. And I can tell you, it's kind of interesting, especially when 2 are thousands of miles away, not hundreds, but thousands. And you're getting ready to send number 3.
You know what, Krista, I can totally relate with that, because it's like, I used to joke about how God gives us little babies that are so innocent and sweet, and you just get so attached to them, and then they learn how to talk, and you're kind of distraught, like, oh, what have I gotten myself into? It's too late now, right? And then they start going to school, and other people start teaching them stuff that you didn't want them to learn, okay? You did not want this, and you got to deal with it anyway. And then they graduate from school, and they go out and they get jobs, and they start making their own decisions, and you have no power to stop them anymore,
That's it. Yeah.
Well, they have to learn their own, their own soul level, right?
Oh, definitely. No. And it is. It's so true. And when that starts to happen, it's a lesson. There's lessons happening all around.
Oh yeah.
Part of the lesson is, what the kids are doing, whatever. Yeah. But the other lesson is you as the parent, as the adult, because you're growing, you're shifting, you're changing from being, and if you planned it well, which I kind of have, I have to say that I got great advice when I was younger, with younger kids. And so I kind of went with it. So I stopped being the mother. And I told the kids, I am now moving from being your mother role up to your, think of me as an advisor.
Yes.
Or think of me as that private contractor that comes in.
Consultant.
That's exactly
what you consult.
Yeah.
Right? Oh my gosh. Ada just gave us this. I got to put this up on the screen.
Yep. And then they come. Nope. See, that's why you move into a turtle. then they can't come back home.
Well, that's what happens too. If they can't make it out in the world, they come back home.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, then but the thing is, then they want you to accommodate their, way of doing things. No. But yeah, they try. They try.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next piece of advice I can share with everybody is then you move into a turtle, and you're probably like, "What's the turtle?" That's a travel trailer, and it's only for 2.
Oh my goodness.
And then guess what? They can't come back home because you've taken that safety net away.
Yeah.
Or
I know people that reduce once the children grow and leave home, they downsize, and they go sometimes into an apartment, or they go into a smaller place, and then the kids can't come back home.
That's
exactly. Right.
Yeah. One of my
you just thought your parents didn't want to be in that senior living center. That was the reverse psychology.
My girlfriend, she was just telling me, she's like, she's like, I graduated 3 weeks after she graduated high school. 3 weeks after her graduation, her parents didn't put the house on the market. Right. They didn't want to put it on the market right away, but they had been downsizing and getting rid of stuff. And she's like, it sold it sold before I went to college. So as I'm walking out the door to go to college, the moving truck is there in front of the house that I grew up in. And my parents moved 4 states away.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. They're going to have to figure it out at that point, right? Because if there's no room.
But you know what? I love that. It's funny, but it's still kind of sad for the kid that goes away for a semester to college and they can't come home for Thanksgiving. I mean, everything's gone.
Everything.
Right.
But then, so being a military brat, I never got to go home to same place where I grew up. And so, it's it's different, but then again, I'm not somebody who lived in the same place either.
Yeah.
So I don't. For me, I'm like, whatever.
So what about you, Gayle? Venus in Capricorn is love with discipline, is love with structure, is love with, sort of it's, we can love unconditionally, but we also have to know where we are crossing a boundary, where we're taking away a lesson that they're going to have to learn later.
Yeah, I've been trying to get people to take away my lessons for the last month or so. It's not working.
No.
I'm still having and actually today I all of a sudden something broke free. I think it was Palace going direct.
Okay.
And it was just like, okay, there was just nothing in the energy field that was like, okay, if you try to force this, I'm going to make it twist. So, just don't do it. And then, choosing not to do it and stuff. Today, it was just like, I got so much stuff done.
Yeah.
Before the show started 3 hours earlier than I'm used to it starting on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I had been, reading about in my chart over this last week was how much my recipe likes structure. And I have not been, and it's not just for me, I can't just set my calendar and arbitrarily follow my calendar. I have to have meetings that other person is going to be at, or someplace that I have to show up at, or that kind of thing, in order for that to seem real to me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, I got plenty of time. I'll do that later. Yeah. And it never gets done.
Yeah.
So I've been putting some more of that structure into place, which is helping me love myself better, because I don't feel so, I'm just a piece of crap. Why even get out of bed? I got nothing. I got nothing going on. You know?
That's exactly what it is. Venus in Capricorn is like just what you described. And also what I want to ask before I switch it over to Krista is, where are we loving ourselves from the Taurus perspective, where it's just I want, or whether it's from the Libra perspective, where it's like a love that wants balance and harmony and that is is desiring relationships with other people and looking at the benefit of all involved, not just from the Taurus perspective, which is only about the I. So where are we loving ourselves from that Taurus energy or from that Libra energy?
Yeah, it's interesting that question, because I have been in that Libra energy for a long time. I really have. Like my entire life is about making life better for everybody else, right? And now that everybody else is gone, like they're not gone, but they're not my responsibility anymore. Right. And just this morning, the thought crossed my mind is how do I do this when there's no one to do it for? Right.
Now you do it for you.
Well, you do it for you. I'm unworthy. So we're
you are.
we're at the thank you, sweetheart. We're at the beginning of me actually like stepping into that I am the one to do it for, that I am worth doing it for. And it kind of puts a higher vibe spin on that Taurus energy where I don't necessarily have to feel guilty about filling my cup.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And focusing on what is it that I need so that I feel like a whole human being.
Yes.
You know, I don't have a soul of Swiss cheese anymore.
So you went too much to the other side is what you're saying.
Yeah. And for a Libra being that far out of balance, you know, it takes some work to get, you know, things
back in balance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, I get that. No, I am probably more Libra at the moment. However,
me too.
I have no problem dipping into Taurus.
No, I don't either. You know,
I'm really big on making sure that the I aspect, and I think it's because I went through that lesson of draining myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And giving and draining and just being the everything for everyone. And now I just need to say, you know what? I need to just focus, you know, on those days, like the last couple of days. Yes, I've been helping because Kevin was really, really, really sick. And then for me, I've just been like so slowly, you know, and it's like, you know, it's like, I'm going down. I'm going, I know. But I, you know, I just kind of was like, okay, I'm still taking it easy. I'm not going to try to conquer the universe.
Yeah. So the key is really to work with Mercury because it is the planet of intellect, and the planet, it facilitates the wisdom that you need to say, you know what? Yeah, I want to give to somebody else. I want to make their life better, but I also have to do it for me first. So it helps you balance the two together rather than go from one extreme being giving, or then the other extreme just taking. So it's really is finding the balance between Taurus and Libra, which are both ruled by Venus, and working with Mercury and allowing sometimes Saturn to beat you over the head and say, no.
Right.
Yes.
Get my whip out. Well, I want to take a quick second to say hi to a couple other people that are here. Tracy Paquin and Sue Ward Paquin. Sue is on a pilgrimage across country to go take care of some people that need to be taken care of.
So nice.
And we're very grateful that she's doing so. Travel well, my love.
Yes, safe travels.
And be good.
Safe travels.
Awesome. All right, Miss Krista, are we ready?
Right. I am ready. So the crystal of the week is Chrysocolla. Yes. And I have to tell you that this is an interesting crystal to have right now. And first reason is because, and I didn't look at this until just, well, Damaris was talking. Astrologically, Chrysocolla is connected to Venus.
Go figure.
I would love to take these glasses off. The glare, I have to work on that. I'm just learning. I have to have readers these days. So yeah, when I saw that, I thought that was really good. So then I looked in one of my other books and I was like, as you were talking, it is connected also with Taurus, Gemini, and Virgo.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, wow, guys, you can't make this shit up.
Nope.
Seriously.
True story.
I had no clue the whole aspect of everything of what Damaris was going to say until she started saying it. So I really wanted to connect with this one. I am so glad that actually it came up, and it's really fitting because, of course, Gayle and I have been talking about not feeling well, and a lot of what we both understand with the way we're feeling has a lot energetically as well as virally. Sometimes you just virally you get the crud. But this mine I can speak of, it's a viral, but yet there's a lot of energy. And when I tapped into the energy and I started working the energy aspect, it started to break everything up a little bit more for me. And the energy really aligns with Chrysocolla. So this is my Chrysocolla, and yeah, we're gonna have to work on the lighting.
Actually, let's go to the video.
Oh, she has a video. Yay! Awesome. And then so you can actually see it a little bit better. Mm-hmm. So this is a photo I took of it because I couldn't find the stone.
Nice.
And it was under my computer, funny enough. So this is what Chrysocolla, or what it can look like. It's in the blues and the greens. It is not a high vibrational stone. So don't try to think, oh, it's like a quartz or it's like a selenite. It really isn't. It's a grounding stone. So when you're in this, state of not feeling well, it's a great stone to have because it physically will soothe you. And it soothes those hurts, because what it's doing is it's grounding you back in, and it's connecting you with the nature. So if you actually look at this Chrysocolla, and I'll use this, do you see how there's flow? There's actually movement in the stone, right? Yeah. Because Chrysocolla is found in areas where there's a lot of copper. And so where they're in those areas, there are stones you can find that is like malachite, azurite, chrysocolla, of course, copper, and a variety of other vibrant stones. And if you really look at how they're formed with movement, and they're formed with flow. And it reminds us that everything moves. There's fluidity, even when we're trying to resist, which is part of what I was happening.
I want to break in here just a little bit because I wanted to show you some of the Chrysocolla that I've got. Oh, and the only reason that I'm sharing this is because these are stones that I have either pulled from a hike in Arizona, out of the ground, or out of the gravel in my yard in Arizona.
Wow.
Because,
that is amazing.
That stone pillar. So just like Krista said, it's not necessarily a high vibrational, crystal stone. It's very grounding, and it's very solid and soothing.
It is,
like you said.
Yep, it is. And that's it. And Arizona actually is known for it. And they have a type of Chrysocolla that is that can be confused with turquoise. And I'll put the name. The name just floated out of my head.
It's not chrysoprase, is it?
Which one?
Chrysoprase.
It might be. Let me look before I misspeak.
Alrighty.
But here's the thing: when you're dealing with emotional healing, which is kind of, I can speak for myself with a lot of what's been going on. I mean, I've been on an emotional roller coaster, it seems like, since June.
Hello.
And I really wish I could say it was all mine and it was a fun ride. It was a lesson. It was one of those learning moments. I had to learn how to be someone new. But one of the things with Chrysocolla that it does is it helps to nurture, and it helps that soothing, that emotional healing in those moments where you do feel like your world has gone upside down, inside out, backwards, and everything else. the other aspect that I want to bring up, and I bring it up because of what Damaris was talking about, is your self-expression. This one is a really great stone to help with expressing yourself because, of course, it's green and blue. And if it's really blue, it works with your throat chakra, which is about what you hear, and it's about what you speak. And then, of course, the green is, believe it or not, connected to your heart chakra. And these two, your throat chakra and your healing and your heart chakra, they work frequently together. And if Venus is going to be very much on the forefront of the energy that we have going on. And we need to be balancing our energy in between, I'm going to say between that Libra energy and that Taurus energy. We need to make sure that we are doing it with clear expression. And it's not clear expression where it is venomous or not nice.
Yeah.
Come at it. Let's go back to that whole attitude of gratitude. You will find practicing that will help how you express, and it will help how you hear. It is amazing that when you elevate that practice, how things shift, how people, say, for example, if you have a neighbor that bothers you because they mow their lawn at 6 a.m. Or snow below at 5 a.m. if we're going into the snow season. But you'll find that when you do that practice of gratitude, that perhaps that person will use the snow blowing or the shoveling. You'll find that rather than getting upset, you'll be practicing your gratitude, and guess what? You'll go out and your walkway will be shoveled.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Little magical things like that. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's amazing how, learning to express and learning to communicate from a place of gratitude, from that heart center.
From Venus.
And from Venus.
Yeah.
And Mercury is the 5th chakra.
There we go.
And that's what I was saying earlier. You have to use Mercury to help you, evolve.
Yes. Right. And then this grounds it all, because guess what?
What is that red? What stone is
that? This red, I believe, it's the red dirt, because I got this in this Chrysocolla down in Australia.
Oh.
So it's full of copper.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is why the dirt, that's part of why the dirt is red, by the way, even out in Arizona, y'all.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep. It's because of the copper. And so, the brown. So it was really interesting. When Mom and Dad were here, Sue, when they were here, we went to this most amazing crystal store. I don't think I've posted pictures of it yet. I'll have to do that. Went to this most amazing crystal store. And some of the things that I found in this crystal store just blew me away, because a lot of it was combinations. So I bought this round ball, and it's a combination of malachite, azurite, lepidolite, and there's one other stone in there.
Wow.
And when you look at it, and it wasn't like, they took it and they compressed it together,
like a composite. Yeah.
It wasn't a composite. It was, that's how it grew. That's how it came out of the earth.
Amazing.
And this is a similar thing. When you really look at it, yes, it's a Chrysocolla, but it's a Chrysocolla. And I think that it has, it's mixed with more than just the matrix of it. Mm-hmm. And I'd have to see if I can look on a card. Sorry, my brain is starting to fry. So I'm turning it over to Gayle.
We are reaching the end of medication.
I'm reaching the end of my ability to keep my brain on.
Right? Oh my gosh. That's so great. Awesome stuff. Tanya Pesci was just asking, is it green? And you just answered all of that. But I wanted to say, give her a shout out and a thank you. Because did you see her little story? Her reel?
Yes.
Thank you, amazing. Tanya. That was so beautiful of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, she posted it. So I posted it on my Instagram page. And then next thing I know, I mean, I don't even think she must have been up in the middle of the night or something. And next thing I knew, I'm getting a notification that somebody posted, and I go and I'm looking, I'm like, it's Tanya.
Yeah, she did a great job. Thank you.
Yeah, it was awesome. I loved it.
Oh,
so,
wrong one. I put the wrong one up there. Oh. I meant to put this. We love you too, Tanya. Thank you so very much.
Definitely love her.
And for the rest of you, Miss, I'll keep my comments to myself. I know who you are.
I'm like, I think we know exactly who that is, Tracy.
Tracy. Oh, but excuse me, please. Be like Tanya in a world full of people that you don't want to be like Tanya, and share about us, tell your friends about us, post about us. Let's get this coven of joy into exponential levels. I mean, none of us can do it alone, but when we each do our individual intentional actions, the world will shift, that balance will be achieved, and love will win. Yes. So let's get this coven of joy off to a great start. Thank you, all of you, for your support. All right, let's take a look at what Gayle has to say today. Grounding for gratitude season. And of course, once again, it all comes together. It all comes together because, we're talking about these great stones, right, that are very grounding and very healing. And we're talking about the energy of gratitude, which is love that causes things to grow, right? And so whether or not you're in North America and you celebrate Thanksgiving, right, there's going to be a lot of things over the next 6 to 8 weeks that have the capacity to take you off your square, right? Yeah. I don't care if it's in-laws that are passive-aggressive or disgusting and stick their fingers in the mashed potatoes before all the food's on the table. I'm speaking of personal experience here. Sorry. There you will be triggered, right? You will be triggered. Or whether it's Christmas shopping, whether it's all of this news that we're hearing about supply chain failures, and you better start your Christmas shopping now because it won't get here in time. And
shop small.
Yeah.
Yes. Local.
Yes.
Local, small business.
Local, small business.
Yes.
Support a family that's trying to get their kid in Little League. Okay.
Yes. That's it.
Nobody needs a third yacht.
Yes.
I'm just saying. Okay.
Just saying, there are holes in the water that you throw money into.
Yeah.
I speak from experience.
Yeah. Right. So, now is the time to prepare for that, right? So whether it's getting yourself a little piece of Chrysocolla and putting it next to your coffee pot, so it's one of the first things that you see in the morning that shows you, grounding for love, right? Mm-hmm. Or if it's going to remind you of that connection between your throat and your heart, so that when you have to be honest with someone, it's not brutal honesty. Honesty does not have to be brutal, okay? No. You don't have to show your dominance by crushing another person's soul. And you can come across honestly with being encouraging and showing your gratitude. For example, to use the example that Krista used earlier, a neighbor that gets up and snow blows at 5 o'clock in the morning. You could go and bring them a little thing of homemade cookies with a thank you note that says, I really appreciate that I never have to worry about walking down your part of the sidewalk. You're on top of it. You're taking care of it. Would you mind if you didn't start that for another hour, maybe 6 a.m.? And let it go. And then see what shows up. Right. Mm-hmm. And that's a whole lot different from yelling over the fence. Hey, shut that damn thing off. I'm trying to sleep over here. Yeah. Which is also true. Okay. Honesty does not have to be brutal. You can be kind. right? We can ground in gratitude, right? And there's that Mercury and that the balancing out the Libra and the Taurus again, that higher minded love, that self-centered love, and that communication that puts that love out into the world so that both ends of the scale balance up, right?
Beautiful.
All
I
right.
got goosebumps.
Woohoo! Now, wait till you see this. This is our card of the day today.
All right.
All right.
Four of Pentacles. Now, whenever I look at this Four of Pentacles, I always think of a troll miser, right? I mean, that's just the image of it to me, right? Three Billy goes gruff and all that kind of stuff. But he just looks like a little miser to me, like he's on his money and you're not going to get it from him, right? And it's really not necessarily that way. Now, for those of you who recall or don't recall, I use an app on my phone called Galaxy Tarot that I give you their interpretations from, because there are so many beautiful decks out there. I just want to be consistent with ones that I'm teaching you from. And the Four of Pentacles in the Galaxy Tarot are stable, cautious, protecting resources, boundaries, and savings. Today, be cautious about your health and your finances. Yeah. Remember how important your well-being and long-term goals are to you. There's that Taurus love.
Yes. Okay. And it sounds like a Saturn kind of discipline.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Being cautious, making sure that you're taking care of what needs to be taken care of in the ways that it should be taken care of. Even if you've slipped into unhealthy habits or frivolous spending lately, there's again that Taurus, I want.
Yes.
Right? You've still made some amazing progress and built a solid foundation for success. Discipline, Saturn.
Wow. Amazing.
Today is a great day to get back on track. I just absolutely love this.
You can't make it up.
No, it all comes together so beautifully.
But you bring it together. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for delivering it in a pretty package with
my
little Tiffany box.
Your little Tiffany box. We need you know what it needs to be? A red package.
You know, as a matter of fact, when you buy a special fan club seat to a Manilow concert, they send those tickets out to you in a red envelope. They've been doing this for years. And I have dozens of friends online that post the picture. I got my red envelope today. It is a celebration. It is, so yes, my presents can come in a red envelope.
Yes. Absolutely. I love it. I just
we have presents to give away as well.
Yes, we do.
So our winner for today. Now I got to be honest, we had a little bit of a glitch last week with the video being shown in the Three Crones and the Woo Woo group. So where things got shared from was not from there. There were no shares from inside the group. So I went into the members and I took a look at the people that are so supportive of us and making comments on all of our different posts and during the show. And I picked a lady that was right there at the top of the list that wasn't one of us. And I want to say congratulations to Miss Ada. Yes. Hello. Thank you so much for being one of our top contributors. And as you know, all you got to do is reach out to your favorite crone of this week and let us know what you would like as your prize. Now, if you pick me, the word witch, we're going to go with the word witch.
Okay, word witch.
The word witch. You'll get a 30-minute tarot reading, 10-card layout, Celtic cross, and any kind of follow-up questions that you may need or want to ask. If you go with Krista, you will get a crystal reading of however many crystals that speak to her and say, I want to play today, and a reader from her. Or you could go with Damaris, and Damaris will give you an astrology reading or a numerology reading. All right. So your choice, my love. Thank you so much for being active in our group and sharing this love with us and with your other friends as well. Thank you for being part of the Coven of Joy. All right. And again, thank you to our sponsors and contributors. Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing with Krista on Facebook. Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. And yours truly, Gayle Nicholson with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. And from all of us at the Three Crones and the Woo Woo, thank you so much for being part of this amazing experiment in joy, love, and laughter. Yes. Thanks again for being here. Ladies, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being with me this week. Take care, all. Bye.